man, thanks for checking out the Truth Seeker channel. This is episode 1, 400 DMT experiences in 4 years. This series is going to be all about the 4-year journey that I've taken, diving in deep, trying to find the truth, to answer questions. What is DMT? Why is it in all living things? And how do we use it to our full potential? How did it get there? Some people might think that doing DMT is a drug, and that's fine. If you do, then either stick around because you might learn something, or go watch something else. This channel is dedicated to bringing the truth. It is dedicated to the research that I've done, which was extremely deep. I've got 15 years sobriety from alcohol, so I take my sobriety extremely serious. I did not get into this because I wanted to get high. I got into this because of an extreme experience that happened to me in 2005, which was all natural through a meditation and prayer. And I've got a video on that. It's called My First DMT Experience in a Jail Cell. So please go check that one out, because that was the basis for all of my research. So again, if you think I'm doing drugs, or you think DMT is a drug, then change the channel. Go watch cats flipping around, or go watch some stupid other shit. I'm not here to get likes or subscribes or monetize my channel or become a YouTube star. This research that I did is extremely serious, and I believe I've made some discoveries along the way. And I'm looking to find 6 other people to make a team of 7 to share notes with that have the same amount or more of experiences and are very serious about this, because this is pretty serious. So, hey man, look at this beautiful freaking day out here, right? So, let me just tell you real quick. 4 years ago, before I got into any of this, I used to wake up to an alarm clock every morning, and it was so annoying. It would go beep, 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 beep. Oh, what a freaking hard way to wake up. And then I wanted to smack that thing, and then you wake up all pissed off. Not anymore. Today, I wake up, no alarm clocks, every day between 4 and 4:30, and I meditate. Every morning. And then I come in here and watch the sunrise and meditate. That's one hell of a way to start the day. You know what I'm saying? It's peaceful. My life has changed. And I'm not here to change anybody else's life. I'm here to bring you the truth. So I'm reaching out on this platform to the rest of the world to let's say, hey, there's something inside of us that has been hidden for a long time, that's been suppressed, pushed down, dumbed down. We all know it. It's all over the internet. So, thanks for checking out the Truth Seeker channel. This episode is episode 1. It's going to dive in pretty deep. So, grab some popcorn, grab a beer, kick back with your blankie or your honey, and let's watch the first episode.
Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip that started from this tropic port aboard this tiny ship.
"400 DMT experiences in 4 years. 100 of those experiences were extended state, meaning, the DMT experience was extended from the normal 10 to 15 minute duration, extending it to a 4-hour journey, with some at the least 30 minutes long. This means I have around the area of 400 to 500 hours in the full-on DMT experience. Staying in that deep for that long, really allows one to explore and learn to navigate the experience. I learned to use natural plants to slow down the extended experience, more like an ayahuasca journey, but still very connected to the DMT experience. I also learned a natural plant that helps me to remember most of the info and tiny detail of these experiences. I went about this in a very scientific, analytic, research type manner. I'm not just some 35-year-old stoner living in his grandma's basement playing Minecraft. I'm an everyday average Joe with grandchildren of my own. I began diving into the DMT experience, in search of the truth of what happened to me back in 2005, when I had that DMT experience in jail during a long extended prayer meditation. If you haven't seen that video, I would suggest to watch to better understand the motive behind my research. This video here is going to explain that 4-year journey, touch on a few key points of the most life-changing experiences, the subjects they led me to research deep into, and the techniques I've used to navigate not only the experience as a single, but how to map out all 400 experiences that shows a definite pattern to all of them as a whole. Those and more will be put into this channel's future videos to explore deep into my research and what I feel I have uncovered. The past 4 years DMT journey began with the first smoked DMT experience. Here is the video on that explains how my first smoked experience was very similar, in many ways, to the DMT experience I had in 2005. I started with small one-hit experiences. I was afraid of having that full out-of-body breakthrough experiences at first, so I did about 24 small experiences with eyes open, just getting familiar with the wild electric hum and buzz vibrations and tones that consume your body, getting used to the visuals and the insane feeling of a powerful presence of energy all around me. The way the room would transform around me, the connection to something real and powerful was very strong. I had a few very powerful small dose experiences that at the time, left me wondering if that was a breakthrough. I began researching into what others were saying on YouTube about their breakthrough experiences. I heard one person say, if you have to ask if that was a breakthrough then, it wasn't. You'll know it was a breakthrough when it happens. That's when I decided, I was going to take the plunge and force myself to push through any anxiety or apprehensions I had and take the 3 hits everyone was saying was needed to have a breakthrough. My intention I set was to break through and just observe everything. I remember saying right before taking the first hit, I'm open to anything and everything. Show me everything. I want to know the truth of everything. I prepared the homemade Pepsi bong with a huge dose. I have no idea how much. I didn't have a scale then, but judging by the size of the amount I put in, it was between 75 to 150 milligrams. I had intended to take the 3 hits everyone was saying was needed to have a breakthrough experience. I took the first hit and before I could let it out, this buzz and hum took over my body, like a blanket of vibrations running through every cell in my body. I felt like my cells were bubbling, like boiling water. That feeling quickly intensified, and as I attempted to put the bong down, I felt a sharp pinhole on the top of my head open. It was painful, and the buzz and hum got louder. Faster and faster the tone began to raise to a very high-pitched squealing sound. The pressure on my head was like my entire body was about to squeeze through this tiny pinhole.
In a split second, I felt my body drop like a wet towel.
It felt as if my body was just a suit that I was pulling out of, and I shot through that tiny pinhole, through this amazing tunnel of light, spiraling through this tunnel at light speed. I could see millions of faces in the spiral. It was like a net of tiny little faces, all smiling as I flew by. They all looked happy to see me fly by and wham. I went into this black, silent space, no body, no breath, no feeling of a heartbeat, and I quickly had this sense that I just died. Holy shit, I'm dead, is what I thought happened. I was first very upset at the thought of what my wife was going to experience finding her husband dead in his studio. As quick as that idea popped in, I quickly felt or realized, if I'm dead, I better get used to this. Here I am, floating through space, no pain, no anguish. I felt peace, calm, serene, and then it happened. As I surrendered, I felt an overwhelming sense of love, and wham, the kaleidoscope of colors bursts into view. I felt a strong loving presence of something, vibrating, like a blanket of peace, love and compassion vibrating throughout me, and I realized this is love. I sensed that something was showing me what my love for my wife looks like, feels like. I felt pure love. I felt connected to the universe. It was like the universe was congratulating me on finding true love. I had no fear, no pain, no anxieties. I just felt love and it was beautiful. I can recall the feeling of floating in this endless ocean of love's vibration, and soon it began to fade. I felt myself pouring back into my body like liquids pouring into a mold. I became aware of my body. I felt every cell in my body again, and in an instant I was aware that I was still alive, back in my body, and I just burst out into crying loudly with joy and appreciation. Holy shit, I said out loud, I'm alive? How the heck did I survive that? I was astonished at what I just experienced and sat there for at least 10 minutes, half laughing, half crying, and just kept repeating, holy fuck, was that for real? I just shot out of my body, traveled through a tunnel of vibrations filled with faces. They were shaped like the letter M. There were millions of the letter M with smiling faces. The vibrations were intense to say the least. From the moment it consumed me, Those vibrations were felt in every cell and molecule in my body. I mean, what the hell, man? Was I actually out of my body? Can quantum physics explain this? It all happened so fast, so intense, so real. It felt real. I can't explain it any better. I knew that was a breakthrough, and I had to laugh at the thoughts I had before that, wondering if my previous experiences were breakthroughs. Wow. That took me by surprise because it was the first hit that did it. I was expecting to do 3 hits. Astounding. Filled with so many questions. What was that spiral? Where did I go if I did leave my body? Was that just a hallucination? The entire experience happened way too fast, way too strong. It was so hard to remember all the details. I began researching heavily into what the history of DMT, where it comes from, what past civilizations used it, and in what ways. What blew my mind was to find the history of DMT goes way back. So I felt like this may be a key to finding the truth. If our ancestors used it back then and we today are having similar experiences, then there must be an underlying theme to this. It must be a tool. Perhaps for communication with dimensional beings or entities? I had sent an email to Dr. Rick Strassman telling him about how my experiences, I was seeing all sorts of math symbols and signs, but the actual experience happens way too fast. It's hard to learn anything in that short amount of time, especially when all I can do is hold on for dear life while this rocket ride blasts me through the universe like I am a crash test dummy. Dr. Rick Strassman surprisingly answered my email with some great advice, and it was he who informed me about the extended state DMT that Dr. Andrew Gallimore was working on and planning to do in Colorado, at Daniel McQueen's place called Medicinal Mindfulness. I dove into researching Andrew Gallimore and his work. During that time of research, I was doing a low-dose DMT experience every morning at 5 a.m., low dose at about 20 milligrams, and I was gaining comfort in those experiences, becoming familiar with the vibrations and visuals. I had ordered some tea online from the Netherlands. They usually add a sample gift to each order. On this particular order, I received a sample of Ilex guayusa tea. Not knowing what it was, I googled it to find. This tea has been used by indigenous tribes for hundreds, if not thousands of years. They wake at 4 a.m. to have their tea ceremony and then go back to sleep, and they claim the tea helps them to contact spirit, and also the tea helps them to remember their dreams in vivid detail. I thought, could this help with remembering the details of a DMT experience?
Dimethyltryptamine, first of all, it's endogenous. Your brain produces it, your lungs, your liver produce it. But when you have a DMT experience, after it's over, the memory fades very rapidly, and it seems just like a dream.
Everyone says the same thing. The DMT experience is like a dream. When you first wake, it's right there in your memory, but quickly it fades and the details become fuzzy or disappear. So I tried it. I made a strong cup of tea about 30 minutes before lunchtime. And that next DMT experience was amazing. I felt more connected, if that's possible. The visuals were more vivid, and I remembered every detail, every tiny detail. So from that day on, I continued to use it. I still can remember every experience and all the details of these experiences. I was shocked when I began to research into this. I wondered if other fellow DMT travelers knew of this. At that time, I sent Andrew Gallimore an email telling him I found a tea that helps one to remember the experience in detail. He agreed to have a Skype chat with me, and I explained to him what this tea was and how it helped me. I was shocked that he had not heard of this.
Tea, this Ilex, what's it called?
Ilex guayusa.
Yeah, that's the one, yeah. You still drinking that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the most valuable tool out of all of them.
Wow.
Because it really makes everything clearer while you're in there, and then when you come out, I don't think I've forgotten anything.
Wow.
You know, I know I've heard so many people say when they come back out, they only remember bits and pieces of the experience, but that's not the case with that. I literally remember everything.
You drink that, was it 30 minutes before you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Something else definitely to try.
Oh my goodness. When you do, you're going to go, holy shit, what was I waiting for?
In that conversation, I had said to Andrew, I need to extend these experiences so I can stay in longer to get more comfortable in the experience. Andrew Gallimore suggested I check out the website, the DMT Nexus, which I did. It was there that I learned about Syrian rue seed and cappy vine. I researched those two products and what they can be used for. I ordered them. I prepared a tea with Syrian rue seed extract, guayusa leaf and cappy vine resin with ginger, lemon and honey. Long story short, it worked. My next smoke DMT experience was a low dose, 20 milligrams, and the experience lasted about 30 minutes. That was the beginning of my deep research. That is where I really made a connection with what I now call my spirit guide. I will be making videos of each of these topics in the near future. The tea that I made was amazing. Not only did it extend the experience, but it seemed to slow it down some as well. I began having similar experiences, repeats, so to say, certain themes would repeat. Sometimes Egyptian-like, sometimes ancient American Indian, some looked like Mayan symbols, and many times I would see ancient Hindu themes. So I researched into all these past ancient civilizations to find they each had their own technique in connecting with spirit, with their gods, using plant medicines. Learning to use this tea and really hone in on the right amounts to use, I began having longer and longer experiences. One technique allows me to stay in for 4 hours. That is one hell of a ride. That will be a video all of its own. I will call that one, DMT, the 4-hour experience. It was those 4-hour experiences that I really learned to connect with the vibrations and ride the wave. Every experience was another experiment. Learning from each experience and pushing on to learn more. I felt there were two things happening with the experience. First, I felt like I was going into the universe and meeting other life forms, or entities through that vibration and hum I always experience. And the other was like going into my own body in a very microscopic sense. I would see DNA, molecules, cells, in my own body. They would always be changing colors from red to blue and flipping. That led me to research into quantum physics and ancient hermetic principles. They seem, to me, to be very similar, if not to say the least, the same thing. That's when I had a huge aha moment, knowing our ancient ancestors used these plant medicines to contact their gods and receive information. We are today capable of the same. Our scientists today can only theorize on quantum physics, which is mostly guesswork, theories and math equations, but somehow our ancient ancestors knew this very exact information without computers. They used plant medicines and learned all about quantum physics, the star systems, the universe, life after death, and communicated with spirit. It was then I realized, this DMT, it is a tool. A tool to communicate with spirit. A tool to learn massive advanced technologies, and so much more. I decided I need to harness this gift and figure out how this DMT tool was intended to be used. I set out to slow down the experience and become familiar with the experience in a vibrational form. Ride the vibration like a wave. Learn to navigate the experience, to hold on, stay inside the spiral, to learn from each ride, take back valuable information. That is when I began learning to meditate and researched into how the Tibetan monks connected with spirit through meditation only. And that is exactly what I have done. All of that and more, in the next episode of my DMT journey of 400 experiences in 4 years. Thanks for checking out the Truth Seeker channel. Please smash that like button, leave a comment and subscribe to Truth Seeker channel. All Truth Seeker videos are made by Digital Dan 13.